How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with another mystery beer. Another mystery beer courtesy of my boy Kyle. Noite Beer Reviews. Yeah, he sent me off a box of beer. And had a couple mystery jammers in it, along with a can jammer. This is the second of the mystery beers that I'm going to be doing. And I nailed the first one. I think I nailed it. There was a little bit I just didn't get in there. Or I added a little bit that wasn't there. But I nailed it. So let's dive into this one. Per Kyle, typically, I assume all his bottles that he sent me are really old barrel-aged craziness. We'll see how this one fares. Yeah. Doesn't look like a barrel-aged beer in a pour, to be perfectly honest with you. Mystery Beer Classic. Paper towel with the blue tape. Put his own little branding on there. You got to get that kind of brand marker out there so people know what's going on. If you don't know Kyle, you should definitely be subscribing to him. He's probably one of the better people to do this. One of the more kind of even keel when it comes to the beer review stuff. It kind of dances that line between being this guy and being not entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, he's entertaining and he's not a douchebag is basically what I'm saying. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, she looks like a porter. She looks like a stout, but she doesn't look super high ABV from a distance, nor barrel aged, because it has this kind of creaminess to it. Kind of comes off as like a milk stout or some kind of like oatmeal stout, something along those lines. Let's see what the nose has. What is that? There's something here I'm not going to get. I know it. What is that? It smells like a milk stout, but it smells like it has something else going on with it, like hickory or chicory or some kind of like spice, like anise, star anise, something like that. But those aren't the things. Yeah, it's like smells like some kind of like oatmeal or milk stout. Because I'm not going to say milk stout right off the bat. It has this kind of creaminess to it, but there's this undertone of something to it. I don't know what it is. It could be just a heavy lactose addition, fool my brain. Maybe a little bit of age on it, give you a little bit of kind of sour milk kind of vibes. But there's something to it. There's something kind of spicy, slightly minty characteristic to it that I just can't put my finger on. But based off of the nose, I'm going like 6.5% kind of oatmeal stout with some kind of added herbal addition or something like that. Let's dive in. Cheers. What is this? I have no idea what this is. I have no clue what this is. Okay. There's something to it that I just can't peg, and it's just pissed me off. It's super mild. It has oatmeal vibes to it. Might be milk stout vibes with some Asian in it, because it has this creaminess to it, but there's a little bit of kind of like half and half curdled milky thing going on. There's almost a medicinal characteristic to it, and that's where it kind of went from that chicory mint thing to now more of like a latex band-aidy thing for me. You know what this reminds me of? And I'm not saying it's this beer, because I think this beer only came in like 500 milliliter bottles. This reminds me of, I'm not going to be able to think, Boulder Brewing. Boulder Brewing. It was a stout. I think there's an eye on it. It's got purple. I've reviewed it before, actually. It was like their stout, like an oatmeal stout or something like that. It reminds me of that. And the only thing I'm going to say about that is that was really old. Yeah. I'm going to go... This one's a fun one, Kyle. Thank you very much. I'm going to go for a 7%. This is a 7% oatmeal stout. I'm going to go oatmeal. 7% oatmeal stout from, bear with me, from somebody from New York State, like an old school brewery. Like this is going to be like Ithaca or something along those lines. And it's going to be their oatmeal stout, but it's going to be fucking old. Like I'm saying like 2012 or something like that. It's not really all that oxidized. And it's not like I'm sitting here going, okay, I'm drinking a ton of oxidation, so I think it's old. But the way this flavor profile comes off, the way the mouthfeel comes off, I'm just guessing it's old. There's no kind of indication of old from what we typically kind of attribute to old, other than how it's drinking, like outside of like those kind of natural kind of progression. Oxidation's really not there. A little soft oxidation, nothing that to write home about. But I think it's like, what did I say? 6.8% oatmeal stout from one of the old school New York breweries like Ithaca, and it's from 2012. Alright, it's probably fucking Miller Lite much. It's gonna be Miller Lite. Yeah. What do we have? Well, it's an old school brewery for sure. Okay. This is a Bell's beer. It's not that old, and it's 7.5%. So this is Bell's Hell Hath No Fury Belgian-inspired dark ale. Brewed and bottled by Bell's Brewing Company, Comstock, Michigan. With notes of coffee and chocolate, Hell Hath is more akin to a roasty stout, but fermented with Belgian Abbey-style yeast. That's probably what was throwing me that kind of loop for that fruitiness. I should have pegged on that. So, let's see. This dark ale gives you either sympathy for the devil or courage to face him. Yeah. And it's 7.5%, and it is 3 years old. That makes sense. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Because it was a stout. It was a stout, but it wasn't a high ABV stout. But it had that kind of that medicinal thing, that fruity thing, that minty thing, that whatever. I'm assuming that's all coming from the Belgian yeast. That mouthfeel kind of lends itself to being a Belgian, yeast beer too. That was a super fun mystery beer. Yeah. I don't think I totally butchered it beyond all recognition. I didn't nail it by any sense of the imagination, but I'd be really curious to see. These are sometimes where I wish, people would send mystery beers out to multiple people so we can get different viewpoints on them. Because hopefully I'll go search Kyle's review of this, if he did review it, to see what he said about it. Because this is one of those ones, and maybe it's just my arrogance showing through again, is that I don't think I'm that wrong. I think the beer's way different than what it was, is, or intended to be. I'm not saying I'm correct, but I'm saying I'm a little bit closer than what, Belgian dark ale. I guess not, though, because here's the thing. And this is me trying to make sense of why I'm wrong. Belgian dark ales. I mean, Belgian stout, sure. Or Belgian dark ale stout base. You don't see that all that often. You see doubles, you see triples, you see quads, you see dark, stuff like that. It's a much different malt bill, much different kind of aim. This is more kind of a Belgian stout, but it's an Americanized version of a stout, but with Belgian yeast. So that's where this one not necessarily jumps shark, but ends up being like a style that is so far out in left field, I guess. It's very hard to kind of talk yourself into it when you're doing a mystery beer, because you're like, what obscure, weird, bizarre style am I going to kind of peg into? So it was somebody's stout, not huge in ABV. I thought it had more age on it. That's your Belgian yeast at play there, adding that mouthfeel, adding that softness to it that I assume came from aging where you didn't get any oxidation. So that makes sense in my brain, along with the Belgian yeast producing that third, fourth flavor of that fruity medicinal thing that I talked about. Yeah, super interesting mystery beer. Kyle, this is awesome. Thank you very much for sending this. One of the more awesomer favorite ones I've done in a while. When I don't nail them, it's my favorite. And when they're this kooky, it makes me even happier. So let's talk about it. One of the better Belgian-based, yeast-based, low ABV stouts from Michigan that I've had as late. It'd be number one in that. Is it one of the better stouts that I've had as late? No. I mean, just from its uniqueness, it belongs in a conversation, but not towards the top. Value and availability, it's Bell's, I assume, is readily available. Who knows what's what? Kyle, let us know. And leave you with, if you like what, well, you like this. If you like Belgian stouts, if you like unique takes and kind of hybrids of beer, because you have that kind of American-based stout with the Belgian yeast, if those things that really turn you on, you like old beer, old school beer, not necessarily old beer, age beer, but old school brewery beer, you'd like this one. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down if you want to talk about it. Down there. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little Bell's mystery beer right now. How would you know it's a mystery Bell's beer? I don't know. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.